Welcome to Manga Experts. We are back with another top 10 recommendation list. If you like our videos, please leave a like and a comment of your favorite suggestions below. Without any further ado, let's get started. Number 10. Armored Colossus. In the 70th year of the AI era, the Revolutionary Army committed to global peacekeeping and counterterrorism operations encountered trouble in the process of updating iterative armaments, and gradually lost its advantage on the battlefield against separatist forces and terrorism. Yang Chiu, who developed the second department, decided to subvert the previous battlefield armor design with unprecedented and bold design ideas. This manhwa has an overall good premise. The art is good, but it becomes confusing during fight scenes. The fights are dragged and become a little bit boring sometimes. The plot is also a little bit confusing. This manhwa is only recommended for hardcore mecha lovers. Number 9. Royal Path. When Oh Jae-yeol, the president of Hwarang, a criminal organization in Korea's nationwide district, died in a mysterious accident, internal divisions began as a result of a struggle for succession. The Black Society, who did not miss the gap, came in to take the place of the Hwarang, causing great chaos. The executives of each region of the Hwarang begin to seize power by developing their own ambitions as they begin to deal with the Black Society. As a result of the Black Society, civilian victims begin to appear. But the police and politicians who have already been taken over by the Black Society and divisions turn away from the victims. Meanwhile, when the mother of Baek Han-yu, a former Special Forces unit, tries to drive her Black Society out of her neighborhood, she is murdered by the Black Society. Hearing the news, Han-yu can't contain his anger and begins to take revenge against them. This manhwa is filled with action to the brim. The art is quite good, so is the story. The main character is very ruthless and the side characters can also pack a punch. The pacing of the story is very fast with less dialogue and more action. The only major problem with this manhwa is that the translation is not that great. But you can still read it if you have autocorrect translation built in your brain by now. Number 8. Linked Soul. Surabaya 2025, the year with many cases of missing people and the cause is unknown. In this city, an alien woke up without memories and her head was hunted for 10 billion rupiah. One day, she met Rakai, a boy who was looking for traces of his mother. The story of this manhwa starts off pretty lame, but it becomes better with each passing chapter. It also becomes a little bit dark later on. The overall art of this manhwa is a little bit above average, but there are some very well-drawn panels here and there. Most of the side characters are also generic. On the other hand, there are some very well-made villains in it. Number 7. Harmonia. Divers discover an immortal jellyfish in the Caribbean Sea, and the key to immortality is seemingly at hand for humanity with the development of Harmonia, a pill that keeps its consumers looking young as long as it is taken daily. However, a fatal flaw is discovered when a singer experiences its side effect while on TV, rapidly aging until death. Trapped on Nakwon Island with his family, islanders he's known all his life, a group of church volunteers, and a dwindling supply of Harmonia, will Junam be able to escape alive? This manhwa at first seems a little bit similar to Midnight Mass series. The story is very good and the characters are written very well. They make this story look more real in a way. The plot moves at a good pace. There is always something new and more bizarre happening and it never gets boring. The art is a little bit average, but it still manages to portray a thrilling survival story. Number 6. Blood Revenger. One day, Gummaru is accompanying his female friend who he saved from a bunch of bullies in university to her home. That female friend was an evil, ghoulish entity which eats human beings. Maru received help from a Revenger, Jay White, who hunts down evil. Maru used that incident as premises to join into the war that has been ongoing for a long time between the evil and the Revengers. This is basically manhwa version of Tokyo Ghoul. The art of this manhwa is pretty good and it becomes better during fight scenes. There are only few characters for now, but they are all well polished. The story is also good. The pacing of the plot is perfect. Give this a try if you want something to satisfy your Tokyo Ghoulish craving. Number 5. Bloodhounds. The mother of the main character took a lot of loan from money sharks and now the loan sharks want their money back at any cost. The main character has no other option left, so he joins another moneylender as his bloodhound. Bloodhounds are those people who collect money for money lenders. This is a dog-eat-dog world, so the main character had to clench his teeth and throw his morals out of the window in order to pay his debt. This is quite an educational webtoon about the money sharks. The art is good, characters are well polished, and the story is also very addictive, and the pacing is also perfect. It also portrays a well-drawn picture of how underworld of loan sharks work. Number 4. Killing Time. One day, the main character received the cell phone of her deceased sister. The sister of the main character died 3 years ago called her, and now she has to use that cell phone that is connected to the past to save her dead sister. The information she gives on the cell phone in the past helps her change her past and present. The story of this manhwa is quite good. The plot moves back and forth between past and present. The art is also nice. The characters are written very well and no one feels like out of place. There's also a movie called Frequency with almost a similar plot. Number 3. Blitz Triggered. Fenrir is a person whose mind is full of vengeance. He joined a mercenary unit. He met his companions there who have a different reason to fight, but the same reason to kill. With his not ordinary weapon called Skeggax, he uses it to fight in deadly battles. On his path, he will meet many people that will have the wish to kill, persuade, and backstab each other. For this reason, the blitz that resides in his body will be triggered. This manhwa is action-packed to the brim. The art is a little bit similar to Mob Psycho. The characters are amazing and the world building is on point. The story is also good and has a little bit of revenge in the mix. Only problem is that chapters are a little bit short. Other than that, it is a totally underrated webtoon which deserves a lot of love. Number 2. Samadhi. Yebak Kim has only ever dreamed of living an average, peaceful life, nothing more, nothing less. But when he finds himself with supernatural powers, Yebak must now learn how to hone his new abilities and get used to the fact that from now on, his life will be anything but normal. This is a short completed webtoon filled with awesomeness. All characters have well-polished personalities and diverse morals. The art is also well-polished. The fight scenes look marvelous. Story is also very awesome and it keeps becoming more and more better as the plot moves. This is an underrated but super awesome webtoon. I highly recommend giving this underrated gem a try. Number 1. The Retreats. In the distant future, people live in abundance in the Retreats, a so-called paradise on Earth. This prosperity is made possible at the expense of a drained underclass in the surrounding slums of Brine, who must either serve the citizens of the retreats or fight in the dreaded battlegrounds for a shot at becoming a retreat citizen. For Brine resident John Canty, whose father and grandfather died in the battlegrounds, the desire to rise to the retreats seems like a hopeless pipe dream. All that changes when his new job takes him into the retreats and he encounters Edward, a boy who looks identical to his own son Gable. The art of this webtoon is quite unique without much color. It is done by the same artists as Distant Sky. The story of this manhwa is very awesome. It has a vibe of originality to it. The author did a wonderful job in creating the personalities of the characters and they feel more human-like. This webtoon is totally underrated and deserves a lot of love. And one more thing, there is a lot of backstabbing and tragedy in it. Do you agree with our picks? Check out our other videos for more suggestions and don't forget to give us a like before going. Until then, take care and we will see you in our next video.